Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And
And
it is
James, you were in
Friday.
the queue before we even went on the air.
And it's Friday in a rib. James is here early and Gene's here. What's up, guys? So, again, we face the prospect of another fiasco on the roads. Hey, Linda.
Remember, the parking ban goes into effect at 6 o'clock. Right after this show goes off the air, we will be.
Oh, we have another one of our new guests. Welcome to the committee to recall Paul Coogan, and in your honor, as I promised earlier in the week, here it is.
No more shenanigans. Recall Flanagan.
Here it is. Just change the bottom.
That's it.
We have to get a word because shenanigan rhymes with Flanagan. We made that up because it rhymes. So we're going to have to come up with something for Paulie. You know, probably no more bullshit. So, but you can't, nothing rhymes with Coogan, I guess, except corruption. Oh, yeah, corrupt. Oh, good. They have their own shirts coming soon. You know, and we had wristbands too. But yeah, so we're looking at this fiasco as we see the ineffectiveness of government all around us. I think, first of all, let me start with a tragic story, I guess. I got it on my phone. A 70-year-old woman and another person was injured. She was killed in a drunk driving accident in New Bedford. The driver, a 34-year-old, I believe his name is Johansson. I'm on another story now, but Johansson was charged with OUI, operating under the influence. So again, it's just totally out of control. They were run down at near Cogswell Street, in case any of you guys know anything about New Bedford, but it's a fairly well-known street down there. It's actually the one down toward the back end. I will be signing that petition as soon as it becomes available. I believe in, I mean, I'm not sure about the timing with all of these other things. There are other things there are. Oh yeah, well, because you quoted the law, you're a white supremacist. I didn't realize that the law was, No, this is how the tolerant left acts all the time. They go nuts and they want you murdered and hung from the yardarm and walk the plank and shoot them. And the only good MAGA person is a dead MAGA person. And yeah, the law is you have to understand, James. You can't argue with stupid.
That's right. You can't.
You can't, as our one of our favorite sources once said when he talked about diapers too. Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain once said, "You can't argue with stupid. They're going to weigh you down with their experience because they've been stupid their whole life." And this is the problem. They think the law is discretionary. We have to obey the law. Oh, the illegals need due process. 98% of the illegals have already had orders against them for expulsion. They don't need due process. It's an administrative action. They've already had their due process. And but they don't care. So you can't argue logic. There's your first mistake. Because all the Democrats do, and this shirt was a very appropriate thing. It wasn't our choice to have purple bags, but purple states and blue states have no idea what they do. Look at what Rhode Island did with the bridges. That clown in 2015, Raimondo said, fix 90% of the bridges. And what did they do this year when he resigned so he can throw bouquets at himself? Like Paul says, everything's beautiful in the city and we got plenty of housing. They eliminated 700 bridges out of their stat so he could get to 90%. They only reported the bridges that got federal funding, which helped them. So there's a question of what happened to the money, because remember, that's 16 years ago.
And remember, they said they had to remove them to make the count accurate according to federal guidelines. Because if they included the state bridges, the count wouldn't be accurate.
Yeah, but Raimondo's wanted all the bridges in Rhode Island.
Right.
See, this is the way they do everything. They manipulate it. Oh, we had to do it because, well, just like with shootings, New York City was getting so many shootings that they stopped counting a shooting unless somebody got hit. So if somebody shot at you and missed you, they didn't even mark it down as a shooting.
That's right.
They do that with crime stats all over blue states. It's like Chicago. I read the stat earlier in the show, earlier in the week. 103 shootings, 29 of them died. Where do you see that on the news? You can't deal with these people. Coogan, this city is locked down, no information from anybody. You need accountability in government. That's why they hate Trump. That's why they hate anybody who there's now become a word that has ascended to be more intimidating to a libtard than forensic audit. It's accountability. If you ask them to account for anything, their head explodes. They have no data, they have no figures, and they crucify anybody. Look what's happened to our new guy. Yeah, no, you're right. No, look, Coogan was an abject failure from day one, but he was there as supposedly a guy. Maybe people don't remember, but remember when he ran, he said he was going to be in there maybe one term, 2 max, just to help stabilize the city after all, which was bullshit, because the city financially was fairly stable. That's what people always forget. Jazel Correa caused a lot of problems with the city with his personal behavior. And that didn't really cast a good light on the city of Fall River. But even Sean Kadim said in the first year of the Coogan administration, I think he's got amnesia, he forgot he said it. He said Jazel Correa was a much better administrator and mayor than Paul Coogan was. That was in his first term. He's gotten worse for 6 years, and now he's going to get another 2. So I don't know. He is an abject failure. We don't. I mean, go back 6 years and tell me something of importance that he's ever been forthcoming with information to the people of Fall River. You never hear anything. It's like these guys. They juggle numbers. They lie about shit. They don't care. They just cover up everything and then call you. They project. In psychology, that's projection. You call somebody else what you are. Oh, you're a liar. Liars think everybody else is lying. Oh, you're a thief. Thieves think everybody else will steal from them. But these guys project everything. Yeah, you got attacked, James? Of course you'll be attacked. You're talking about the Constitution. They think the Constitution is optional. They only want to invoke the Constitution when it benefits them. Oh, the democracy, the Constitution. They use those words interchangeably, and they mean nothing because they're full of crap. And I mean, look at the city. This city's in a lot of trouble. I mean, look, they're going to dump $30 million on Conley. Like I said, I think that it shouldn't only be Coogan. They should be recalling the city council. We said on this show last year when they had their last meeting and ramrodded that change about the voters being able to talk about expenditures, We said there was something they had in the wings. Why would they do that? Why would they allow two people that are leaving, had no dog in the fight? Then we found out. It's the 30 million bucks they want to dump on there, plus renovations. That's going to be another 50 to 75 million dollars. That's going to come out of our pocket. You're muted, CJ.
Here's the thing, and I said this in a previous show. I had conversations with city councilors, plural. They insist that the lifting of the cap had nothing to do with this $30 million purchase. I call bullshit on that. Because it's just too convenient. That they're going to buy the school, bring the city council in to review the building, to have a walkthrough, which not every city councilor did. And get the information on what they plan on doing. And it's amazing how the purchase is only $30 million.
Well, listen.
And this is bullshit.
Of course it is. It's maximum bullshit. It's bullshit to the exponentially infinity, because you're not going to tell me something of this magnitude, a $30 million expenditure. The negotiations about buying a building have been ongoing for a long time.
Right.
And listen, James Coogan's full of crap with that quote too. I don't know anything. I'm a vice principal. If you want to talk about schools, let's go. He won't talk about schools either. If you pin him down on numbers, you know what he's going to say? I don't know anything about that. I'm only a vice principal. I don't know. You go ask the financial guy. Go ask. I don't know anything. Coogan's a moron. He's always been a moron. That's why they wouldn't let him teach in a classroom. He was an overpaid babysitter.
Right.
The guys that take care of the people that get thrown out of the regular classes. I don't know what euphemism they call him, but what he is a political tick job. Pretend he's a teacher, but he doesn't teach because he can't. What's he going to teach him? How to be stupid? How to duck questions and demean and snicker at people? Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He can't look. When he was on a school committee, he called me about the health care because he didn't understand it. He still doesn't understand it. Neither does the guy over there that runs their finances, because he still doesn't understand it's a group. He can't run anything. The reason he was never a principal was, and that's the reason he came back, we should blame her, because the former superintendent, who he hated, because she would not give him a principalship because she knew he's an idiot and he couldn't do the job. He came back strictly to run for school committee to get rid of her because he hated her. It was revenge. But then he got into the political thing and they said, look, here's a real great guy that we can use as a front. He's a dumbbell. He'll do whatever we tell him. He'll collect his paycheck. He'll give all his friends jobs. He'll bankrupt the city. Then he'll go right off into the sunset. He has no moral compass. He is unethical as hell. And nobody gives, he doesn't give a shit. He moved out of Fall River as soon as he retired. He only moved back to become a carpetbagger. And as soon as he's no longer mayor, he's gone. He's gone. And therein lies the problem. He couldn't run a school. Now he's running a city. We would have been just as well off, maybe better, if we hired the Ice House guard. The mayor. Remember that guy, CJ?
Yes, I do. I remember exposing him.
Yeah. Well, what the hell? We just hired a CFO that's got a degree in political science.
That's right.
I don't know why.
And let me tell you something. That degree is coming in very handily for her.
That's
because
right.
What is a degree in political science? It's a degree in bullshit. And what does she do so very well? She bullshits everyone. And she does a good job at it.
Yeah. And they're great at, look at, you got to give them credit. They're great at bullshit and deflecting everything and blaming everybody for being what they are. Look at Newsom. I mean, the guy's the worst governor in the history of the world in his country. $18 billion rail, the bullet train that hasn't had 1 inch of track laid, in 16 years. The highest property taxes, the highest homeless rate, the highest crime rate, the highest everything in California. It is a total disaster. There's only been 1 or 2 homes rebuilt after the fires. If you want to really wreck your state, elect Democrats. And this is why Massachusetts is such a shithole. Massachusetts. Yeah. Well, he's going to be a millionaire probably a few times over, because I'm sure his rich friends, developer friends and everything else, invested his money, gave him some investment tips. So just like Nancy Pelosi became a millionaire, and Elon Musk, all these politicians mysteriously become, great stock investors and everything else. They get all these great deals, and it's nothing new. No, you're right.
Hey.
And now the AG has said that Colin Dias was right.
That's right.
And they won't even tell the AG.
That's right. That's right. And a parent, this isn't somebody, a parent asked for, under the Freedom of Information, under the Public Records Act, asked for all reports going back to 2018 of incidents of student infractions, i.e. assaults, teacher on student infractions, assault, inappropriate conduct, and other items that should be reported as a 51A, which is a Child Abuse Act. After 14 days, 4 days late, by the way, she receives a letter from not even a letter, a message from the Fall River Public Schools that they do not maintain records on assaults on students. That information is unavailable because they do not. Of
course it isn't. If they had them, they would be liable.
That's right. So they don't maintain them, which is a violation of the Public Records Act.
And it's a violation of the law.
That's right.
You're supposed to record assaults.
That's right.
The school department is supposed to provide a safe environment. There should be, if you got a child in a public school right now, and alongside the recall, you should sue the city of Fall River and its public school system for non-compliance with the law. They bury everything. Aviti takes 700 bridges out of the thing. They stop. They juggle crime statistics. There's assault. We had videos of assaults on our show.
That's right, and we aired them.
We aired them on the show. We were showing videos on the show.
And
so now they're going to go, oh, well, Johnny kicked somebody in the head. Oh, well, prove it. There's no record.
Right.
Well, shit. So it's outrageous what happens. And the school department, it's outrageous what happens in city council, but the school committee, forget it. And the sad part about it is the school committee, for the past couple of years, has had Colin Dias on there and Kevin Agia asking questions. And I've always said, I appreciate them trying to do their job, but I think they should have sued the city of Fall River, because when Curley told Colin to shut up and I'm not giving you that stuff, and don't ask me any questions, he should have filed a suit against them. I know I have a very close friend who's one of the best. He's the Raymond Reddington of public sector law nationwide. He's settled suits nationwide. I ran some of that stuff by him. He said, well, they'll do it. His exact words were, they will do it as long as you let them get away with it.
That's right.
You have to take them to court. Should have taken them to court. They would have won. And then you say, as part of the settlement, they have to pay your legal fees. That's the end of it. Because, it's great. It's kind of like Kadeem. Oh, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with this. This is bullshit. No, this is wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I vote for it. All it is white noise. They don't do their job. The last thing these people want is accountability, scrutiny. There's no records. There's still not a real, I know that Colin's supposed to be working on it. There's still no progressive discipline. You can't run a department without one of those things. Every normal department on the planet, fire departments, police departments, they all have progressive discipline plans.
But
we have a federal law.
As you
said they don't have it, and they did. So they lie their ass off.
But as you said, if they had it, then when one of their friends got in trouble,
that's why they don't want it.
And they don't want it. That's why we don't have it. And the reason why we don't have it is things like John Perry, who caught his hand caught in the cookie jar, where he was found doing things illegally. And instead of firing him, they bought out his contract and allowed him to leave so he could, quote unquote, get a job somewhere else.
Yeah. Of course. Who else? And Linda's right. In their twisted world, accountability equals a hostile work environment. Yeah, you can't ask them any questions. Just let them spend money any way they want, rape the city, and keep your mouth shut.
Right.
And this is the way they do it. And yeah, of course, the RDA and everything. Yeah, nothing goes on in this city unless the people who control this city are in charge. Behind the scenes, They are in charge of everything.
I don't know if I said it on this show on Wednesday, but it was asked, how does a developer along Route 79 get a $2 million TIF? Ken Fiola said, hire a good consultant. Meaning him.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, from what I understood, the city council had decided that there would be no TIFs along Route 79, along the Duval Street corridor. Hey, I believe it. I'll buy the Braga Bridge while I'm at it, okay?
Yeah, let's see what happens. And you're right.
Just like there's going to be no building over 6 stories. Now they're talking about 7 and 8-story buildings down on Duval Street.
Yeah, and
what happened to that?
Why should we be giving TIFs on a corridor that doesn't belong to Fall River? It belongs to the MBTA.
Right.
So I'm not going to give anybody a TIF. Let the MBTA and our Cabbage Patch governor Healy is bailing out, giving billions again to the MBTA, which is a total fiasco. And now we're going to subsidize it again at the city level and at the state level.
That's it.
It's bullshit. I mean,
right.
But the reality is that, it's so corrupt that's why, Waltz isn't running for governor. Every time they look into these people, they're on the verge of going to jail because this is the problem. But kudos to those people that want to start this thing. But regardless of what happens, just the start of this shows that there's an impetus for the people to get back involved. We got them involved back then in 16. we can maybe get them back involved again, and maybe in the next election, even at worst case scenario, we have to wait till the next election, which I think may be fairly soon, because I don't believe Coogan's going to. I truly believe in that rumor that he is going to step down, so the next set of corruptors can take over the city.
Oh, you ready for this one? You're going to love it. New form of government. Remember we talked about that? New form of government, new form of government.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, yes, James, I know that. But a city councilor called up to the mayor's office and asked, where is that petition for a new form of government? Paul said, oh, yeah, but I've got to get on that and send it up to the state. The city council said, no, you don't. You got to send it to the city council. They have to vote on it first. Then it gets sent up to the state. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, I'll have to do that. It's not on the agenda. I got the agenda for the next meeting. It's not on the agenda.
He doesn't know it. I guess his lawyer doesn't know it. And they all know the law when they want to interpret it to their benefit.
That's right.
Another thing Paul doesn't know. I didn't know how to do it. I said I was going to do it, but I didn't know how to do it. So I just didn't do it. And listen, Maura Healey used 40% of our energy now has been from oil-fired
generating plants.
Because their bullshit windmills and all the other green shit doesn't work in these climates.
Doesn't work in our climate.
They know it from Texas. It never will work. It never shall work. They all got rich selling green new bullshit to everybody, and it doesn't work. And we're the victims again, because everybody, all the wokies and all of the DEI lovers, oh yeah, we're gonna pollute the planet. You got some kid that went to the 4th grade running around the world becoming Greta Thunberg. Now she's down in Palestine, but I mean, these people are crazy. They haven't figured out that windmills freeze and shit, besides killing birds and fish, and they're being totally freaking useless. And look at all the electric cars. Where do you see them now in this weather? They got to put them on a charger every day.
That's
so
right.
They can go anywhere because they're freaking useless.
And guess what? If they're tapped in an accident, they're in a junkyard.
Yeah. And they just had to rescue
the insurance company.
They barely got them out. Two people that had a fire in an electric car.
Right. They totaled them because it's too expensive to repair.
Look at this. Ditch the witch. That's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, of course. No, look, he makes Joe Biden look like Albert Einstein. For Christ's sakes, it's almost, maybe. But if Biden would have known Coogan was around, he would have got him in his cabinet to make himself look smart, even though he couldn't find his way off the stage. It's like, this is what you get. Oh, I got to give it to you. You've been a mayor for 6 years. You start in your 7th year. And you don't know shit about any of the laws. You got a whole goddamn, you got all your clowns running down. I'm attorney, runaway Rumsey. Everything I say is a Supreme Court decision. Remember that. Everything I say is gospel. You have to listen to me. I'm a lawyer. Well, lawyers are like anal sphincters. Everybody's got one, but some of them work better than others.
And they all stink.
That's right. And you remember what a wise man once said? What's 500 lawyers in the bottom of the ocean? A good start.
Good start.
But we got a whole legal department that doesn't know how to do anything. They farm out everything. Remember Dominion? I'll never forget that one as long as I live. There they were. Our ace legal law department during the Flanagan administration down there fumbling around trying to make an excuse why they blew the Dominion case. And there they are shuffling papers.
We never got the decision. Remember that?
We can't find a decision. We never got the decision. We can't find a decision. CJ goes like this. CJ's sitting next to me and he goes, oh, here it is. About 15 seconds later. Okay, you guys don't have it. But CJ just Googled it. He's got the whole decision right here for you, you morons. And we're paying you $200,000 a year to be a lawyer. Come on. Jesus, this is the problem with this city. We don't need a law department. We need one lawyer to take care of the potholes. They hire firms to do any real legal work. What do they hire their lawyers for? Go down there and lie their ass off to the council to give the council an excuse to screw the taxpayer. Oh, Rumsey said we had to do this. His interpretation of the law says we can't do that, but you can. Every grievance I ever won, the city said I couldn't do that. And I won 99% of the grievances I ever filed. All the unfair labor practices, the city said, no, we're not violating the law. And they lost the 2 JLMC cases. They said, we were wrong. They were right. They were wrong. When we got it to court, and this is this is all political theater.
And the city attorney was arguing the wrong case. And the city attorney was arguing the wrong case.
Yeah. But that was the funniest thing in the world. They're over there. They had months to find that, and CJ finds it in 15 seconds. Okay. Yeah, of course. Well, Andrew Raposo, somebody should file an ethics complaint against him.
File those complaints, baby. File those complaints.
File a complaint. He has no
Not that they do anything with them.
And remember, Andrew wants to become mayor someday.
That's right. He wants to be mayor.
I saw the picture, Nelson. I saw the picture. Yep, the guy got hit so hard his hair flew off. Yeah, a little bit of levity during the show. But they look at the last thing these people want. They cover up everything. They lie about everything. Everything. Maura's not going to tell you they have to use oil-fueled power because...
That's right, and
oh,
the backup generator is located in Braintree.
Yeah.
Braintree.
You know, and it's like, look, go to Rhode Island. They take 700 bridges out of the equation so they can make the number. It's like, Paul, oh, we're doing a lot better. Why? Because you're fudging the numbers. That's why when you say audit, they go, now it used to be forensic audit. Now it's audit at all. If you even mention any kind of audit, they go batshit crazy.
That's
because they know how horrific this thing is. And again, just for the record again, here we go. Woo! Yeah, I'll tell you, it's tragic. This state is tragic. Why? Because it's an all-blue state. They lie. Healy lies. Healy talked about she's giving all the money to illegals, and she lied about them. They're no longer in hotels, but where are they? They're in all the market rate housing in Fall River, New Bedford. They're sticking them everywhere. We're not getting rid of them because we are a sanctuary state. I saved it. It was up in the archives in the attic. So I saved this one as a symbol of our success. And a lot of people worked hard on that recall, and it was successful. But it was a tribute to the voters doing what our forefathers intended us to do: rise up and fight for it. Remember what it says in the Declaration of Independence: when a government stops working for you, I'm paraphrasing now, when the government stops working for you, it is not only your right, it's your obligation to replace that government with one that works for you. And it has to come. We have crossed the Rubicon here. This city is dead. We don't even know how much we're going to pay for Diamond yet, or how we're going to pay for it. And they didn't let us vote on it. Now they're going to buy Conley. And they got to renovate it. If they sold them Conley for $1, and I know Coogan said, well, we're going to sell the Argosy school. Well, The council is not a real council. If the council is a real council and not a negotiator, I'm going to give you a little negotiating tip. What you should tell Paul is, okay, we'll talk about buying Conley when you show us that you've got a purchase and sales agreement for Argosy School that you're going to make 30 million for the property. And then it's a wash. The taxpayers aren't going to get killed. But no, if you do sell Argosy School, you'll sell it to somebody for $5,000 and we'll take it in the shorts. He's passionate. I'm defending him.
That's right. I'm passionate.
I'm gonna pull a Cliffy when somebody said that Sean was he's passionate. Yeah, but look, when you've been doing this as long as we have, it really gets to you because it's like, Jesus, the definition of insanity is to repeat the same action and expect a different outcome. And this city never learns now. The last freaking 20 years, it's been an absolute disaster.
And Justin, I'm sorry, but my mic is right here. So I always forget how close it is to me. And I end up going back.
Passionate.
Passionate, yes.
Passionate. But that it's good. I'm really encouraged by the fact that we got people that want to do something. Get people together. I will be glad to talk to anybody about it, give you the tips that we learned and what we had to do and stuff. And I want to see some people get out. I mean, we had, Josh comes on every once in a while. Josh worked his ass off and, everybody that worked on that recall worked their asses off and it was good. It was people coming together. And the irony is, an exorcism. Yeah. That demon. The demon. He's got, what was that movie when the alien came out of the belly there? I forgot.
Alien.
Alien. That was the name of it. Either that or Linda Blair in The Exorcist. Remember, one of these days, he's at the council meeting, his head's going to start spinning around on its socket and puke's going to come out of his mouth. I don't know. But it's good to see because, that's what a lot of people don't realize about the recall. It was truly what our government's supposed to be about. The old adage in the art of war, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. We had people of all different political persuasions in that recall. We had liberals, we had conservatives, we had Democrats, we had independents, we had people that didn't give a shit about anything, except they wanted to be part of a recall and do something to change the government. And that's what you need. This is why the Democrats try to polarize everybody. Everybody's got to fit in this little wedge. You got, you're white, you're black, you're brown, you're yellow, you're a Christian, you're this, you're that. Divide and conquer. They don't want people to say we're Americans. When 9/11 happened, every American of every race, color, and creed ran down to their recruiters because of what they did to this country. People forget that. And this is what they do. It's a tactic. It's a political tactic. Divide and conquer. Yeah, well, we went through that too, James. They talked about it's so much money. Well, to me, and I'm going to give you the response I gave on the radio, and CJ used it too. I said, there's no price you can put on the voters and the people who are the government being allowed to speak. That's bullshit. They'll run a special election for one of their pet projects, but they won't run. They didn't want to run it. They're going to use that as an excuse. Oh, we got to spend. I don't give a shit how much it costs. If they get enough signatures and we have a recall, I don't care, because this is the epitome of a constitutional republic. We're using the Constitution of this state that says they're answerable to us, saying, we want you to answer. We follow the rules. I don't care. That's money well spent.
You know what's been interesting? Every conversation I've had in regards to issues with various city councilors, plural, I've always said, maybe the people need to put together a ballot question for a binding referendum, like on the CPA, like on property taxes, like on other issues, like the debt exclusions, like the spending cap. You know what I was told? What is it? Your intent to just vote us out of our power? Is it your intent to spend all that money to deny us the right to represent the people? No, we're exercising our right to be represented. That's my opinion. Am I wrong?
No, that's a fact.
Right.
Because the Constitution says in Article 5 of part of the first, and this is verbatim basically, that they are our substitutes and agents and answerable at all times. They have no power. See, this is how arrogant they are. They interpret that you got elected to be a king. We don't have a monarchy here. This isn't Britain, and even they don't have a monarchy now. But they do have. They still have the monarchs. But the reality is that we have a republic, constitutional republic. Our Constitution, which preceded the Constitution of the United States, by the way, for all you people from Massachusetts, we had our Constitution before they did. And our Constitution is clear. No matter what branch of government, executive, judicial, or legislative, and regardless of what office you hold, you are our substitutes and agents and answerable to us at all times.
Are you ready for this one?
And in Article 4, it clearly states that the people of the Commonwealth are the government.
Right.
They're not the government. And for somebody to say that, they shouldn't be sitting in a council chair. You do not have you do not have the power to make decisions for us. You have the obligation to make good decisions for us. You are our fiduciaries. So you don't know your own job.
Well, you want some humor, Justin? Here's some humor. The State of Business Luncheon. The State of Business Luncheon will take place on April 1st. An April Fool for an April Fool. You have to admit, it's going to be good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a very, very the perfect date, April Fool's Day, for those fools to meet.
Yeah. All it requires now is for the city council to attend, and then you'll be full of fools.
That's it. It's like the clown show.
That's
Wait
right.
a minute, they're all going to get up and go, I'd like to tell you that I'm the CEO, but I don't know shit. I got a degree in political science and whatever. And I got a degree in basket weaving, but I got this job.
Really, what's Paul going to say about the state of business in Fall River? That it doesn't exist?
No, he's going to say it's great. Like they lie. They lie.
I mean, you have to really look at this and say, what are you going to try to accomplish? What do you expect to get out of it? This isn't New Bedford. Yeah. This isn't New Bedford. We can't go around and say, well, we've got 6 more fishing trawlers out in the harbor. We had a successful year. We brought in, 200 tons more fish than we did last year. We're hiring 50,000 more people. Can't do it.
Yes.
Because we don't utilize our ports.
We're going to get
It's a
you.
place
Yeah,
to give Kenny Fiola a job. That's all it is. It's a place to give Kenny Fiola a job. We have one of the deepest water ports in the Commonwealth.
Remember,
deeper than New Bedford, deeper than Salem, deeper than Gloucester. And we do nothing with it.
No, but
except give a
I'd
political
like to see the net worth. I'd like to see the net worth of Kenny Fiola right now.
I know.
I'd really like to see it. Yeah. Well, she is a T, but she is a. But I'm going to inspire you all because we were talking about the Declaration to show you how brilliant our forefathers were and remind our counselors and committeemen who are watching here. I'm reading this verbatim from the Declaration of Independence. That this is an excerpt. It's not the whole thing, obviously. That governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety, happiness, prudence, indeed, and will dictate long established government. And that's, our forefathers were brilliant people, but they gave us, they put the obligation on us to fight for government. The Declaration of Independence is just as important if you study the history of our country as our Constitution, because that Declaration says in it, it gives us the obligation. It says that when the government that we created stops working for us, we have to abolish it. That's why when one of these friggin' morons tells you, oh, the recall's too expensive. Oh, I don't want, you want to take my power. You have no power. What you have is obligation to represent us. And that's the problem. Yeah, that's like, we got to come up with a. I want to see what the Recall Coogan slogan is. We had Flanagan shenanigans. It kind of it was good because it rhymed pretty well. We need somebody that's a good rhymer to come up with something, but nothing. I don't know what the hell goes with Coogan. I don't know. It's kind of Flanagan, shenanigan, pretty close, but Coogan's, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
It's a tough one. But look, the city is in trouble. I mean, and everybody, you notice the council, all they do is keep talking about spending more money in different places without saying, by the way, we still got Diamond. Hey, I like that one.
Now it's on good, Josh. Put it on a t-shirt. Put it on a t-shirt.
I don't know the core people who are putting it together, but it's going to be dependent on the people who show up, guys like Josh and the people who worked on it, because nobody can do that alone.
No.
Nobody can do it.
I still have, from our recall, all the documents, videos, posting, everything. I have over 200 gigabytes with a G, 200 gigabytes of information, of documents, of pictures, of attacks.
Mm-hmm.
I was called everything but a Somali pirate. So
Yeah, but if you were one of them, you'd be rich at least.
That's right. I'd be billing for non-existent childcare.
But remember, James, Massachusetts invented gerrymandering.
That's right.
We did, we're responsible. Shows how what a crap hole this state is. We invented this, and you're right. This should have been eliminated years ago. Should have been eliminated years ago. This is an outrage.
And a court just upheld California's new gerrymandered wards and precincts. Its new congressional map has been upheld by the federal courts in California. So they are going to use that for the midterm elections, which basically does away with all Republican representation.
Yeah, well, remember, this is another problem with the government. We've allowed the judiciary to allow judges on there who do everything for political. Now you got a federal judge making a ruling on for that state that he's probably a democratically appointed judge. He's a Democrat.
It gets even
now
better.
It has to go to the Supreme Court.
Yep, it gets even better. Did you hear what the Massachusetts judiciary did? Because the state legislature, the House and the Senate, and the governor will not allow their divisions of government to be audited, the judiciary has now told the attorney general and the state auditor, F you can't audit us anymore. Boom, no more audits, no more information. You know what I say to that? You know what I say to that? F you, no more funding. Taking away your funding. No more funding for the judiciary. We can't audit it. You don't get it.
Well, again, this country has been destroyed by politics.
Right.
Judges are supposed to rule on law, not on political affiliations. And now these lifetime appointments and things that something has to be done. And again, getting back to the Declaration of Independence, it's on us. People have to revolt. They put Trump in, and look at them, their heads blew off because now we're finding fraud all over. So what is the Democratic response to that? What they did when they gave themselves a pay raise and we threw half of them out and we had to approve it, they changed the law. Now they went, F you, we're going to give ourselves a pay raise and you don't have any jurisdiction. We just do it. We give ourselves whatever we want and tough shit. You don't like it? Right. Tough. That's the end of it. Same thing with electing judges. Blue states basically told the people, I don't care what you want. We're doing whatever we want. Try to vote us out. But they vote them in. Look at what they did with the election. Remember when Bernie was going to get the nomination and they said, I don't care who you guys want. It's going to be Hillary. So the Democratic Party and their superdelegates told the rest of I don't know how anybody can be a Democrat. They told the party, I don't care who you want. We do not want Bernie Sanders. We're going to put Hillary in, and she was in. And then they did the same thing with Kamala. They didn't have any kind of process of nomination. They said, okay, we're going to put Kamala there. So twice, not once, but twice, they told every Democrat, you don't really count. Just give us your money. And we'll do whatever the hell we want. We don't represent you. We represent the party because they don't need you. They got all these billionaires from other countries trying to destroy the country, and they're subsidizing the commies that have now become the Democratic Party.
It gets to be very interesting. Well, just a reminder, people, the parking ban is in effect at 6 p.m. tonight. That's in what?
6 minutes.
6 minutes. And be careful this weekend, because starting tomorrow, the wind chills will bring the temperature to feel like of minus 20 to 30 degrees. That's minus 20 to 30 degrees wind chill. So you can suffer frostbite in less than 20 minutes in that temperature. So please look out for your family, look out for your friends, look out for seniors. Please do not use unsafe or unauthorized heating systems. Don't burn a propane heater in your house. Please be careful. More fires and more deaths happen because of unauthorized or illegally used heating systems. So remember that. I want to thank you all for watching, and remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great day and a great weekend. Stay warm. Please stay warm.